Hey y'all, okaerinasai. It is Bouchan here, and today is 2022, February 6th, and it is 4:43 as of the recording of whatever this is, whatever you want to call it. Um yeah, I just wanted to take some time to, I guess, vocalize my thoughts and where I am in this moment in life since, especially last week and the week before, I've been thinking a lot about my identity. Um, for those who don't know, I was born and raised in America, and my dad's Korean, my mom's Japanese. And I always questioned who I was because all these cultural mix, this cultural mix, and also like family troubles and stuff that has always been like with me. Just that it was pretty late in my life that, not pretty late in life, but like, it wasn't until like this past year or two that I finally came to realize like how broken my family was. And I guess like that also like had me confused in who I am, am, what I want to become, and it's just something that I never understood, and I still don't. Like, what am I? Like, in America, like, because my parents are Korean and Japanese, like, I look Asian, Eastern Asian. And though I grew up in America, like, I never really felt accepted for who I was. And, like, people say, like, oh, don't judge a book by its cover, but then, like, what are you giving me? Those people will be giving me racial slurs and, like, being racist against me, throwing stereotypes against me just because I'm Asian. And apparently Asians don't know English. Wow, I'm Asian, I speak English, and English is, I guess, my best language, if that makes sense. And it's just such a dumb concept to have that, to assume that someone doesn't know English just because they're not white. Because I obviously don't look like, I don't look white. And but I grew up in America. I went to an American school. I had education in America. I speak English. And yeah, people will be like rumoring, judging me just because I'm Eastern Asian. And just because there's like the most Asians in America is like, I believe, Chinese. I need to fact check that again. But um people assume that I'm Chinese, which I am not. As I mentioned, my dad's Korean and my mom's Japanese. I am not Chinese. I do not know any Chinese except for ni hao, which means hello, hi. I do not speak Korean well, even though my dad's Korean. And as for Japanese, my mom had me learn Japanese at a young age. And like at home, I'll be like speaking in Japanglish. Because there are some expressions that I do not know in one of the languages. So I'll maybe say like an expression in English because there's no way for me. I don't have the knowledge in Japanese to express myself in Japanese, or the other way around. And yeah, like my blood yells. I'm Korean, I'm Japanese. My physical appearances scream, the yell, Eastern Asian. But how I act isn't 100% Korean or Japanese. How I speak isn't Korean and or Japanese. How I express myself isn't Korean and or Japanese. And it's tough. It's always been tough for me to I guess take pride in who I was. Like in my cultures. I mean, I do love Korea, I do love Japan. But I feel like they don't define me. I felt like they didn't define me. Even though it's part of my identity. It's just a part of me. It's only a part of me. Being born and raised in America. How I express myself is American. Like even when I speak in Japanese, how I express myself is very American. How sometimes like the words I pronounce it I don't pronounce it as like a Japanese person would. A Japanese native would. But I never felt accepted by Americans. I know Japanese people who, in America, who don't speak Japanese as well as I do. But they do speak English. And so then why do I have to be told these things? Have, whether it's through words or actions, like in a previous video I posted last year in May or June, I remember all these like acts of hate towards Eastern Asians. Like I personally experienced those racist stuff, and it's just so unfair. Like also with this outbreak the hate has risen. We Eastern Asians are getting much more hate before the outbreak. We are receiving hate even from our black brothers and sisters. And it's so stupid. And I know Bouchan people. I personally know Bouchan people. And I feel like and the Bouchan people I know, they are not, I guess, racist against us. Because they know our pain. But to receive the hate from the black brothers and sisters who have also received hate. It's just so hurtful. It's just so stupid. I thought we were in this together to fight against racism, for our equal rights. And because for such a long time, for so many years, I questioned my identity as an Asian American. My questioning didn't stop there. My questioning went to my gender identity and my sexual orientation. Especially the last 2 weeks. And I have insomnia and anxiety, so I couldn't sleep. Like, at the end of January, I slept for 3 hours, went through the day, then slept for 10 hours, and then I stayed up for 26 hours because of the anxiety of not knowing who I was. And I will be on YouTube listening to like all these people within the LGBTQ plus community, their experiences and why they identify as what they identify. And a part of me, I was able to find an answer to one of my identity, a part of me, with the help of Anthony Padilla's video where he interviewed 3 non-binary people, and the things that were being said by them, the ones being interviewed, really helped, I guess, untangle my thoughts. And it helped with making sense of the feelings I had, the thoughts I had, relating to gender. And it really relieved me. And I would like to officially come out, even though this recording will be out much later this year. I would like to officially come out as non-binary. I am non-binary. Assigned female at birth, but I am non-binary. And it feels so good to say that. I'm in tears right now, but I also have a grin on my face. I'm smiling. I'm happy to be able to, I guess, own this part of me that I always questioned. Because I had all these questions regarding or relating to gender. And I finally found that answer. And it also helped me to define a part of me. Labels don't matter, but it really helps. And I can say that it helped me in this situation. Though most of this recording I was talking about like my race and background in that, but yeah, the most, not really most, but one of the most important points I like to mention in this is that I am non-binary. I'm non-binary.